Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining. Sunil here. Can you hear me? Please confirm in the chat box. Perfect. Thank you very much for your responses. Thank you very much. How is your weekend, Babatunde?
My weekend is great. Thanks for asking. It's just been, studying.
Studying? Oh, God. Okay.
And your weekend is also busy as well.
Okay. Good. Thank you, Babat.
You're welcome.
I want to have a quick questionnaire. Who is ready to answer my questions? Please raise your hand. Good. Vinay, I'll come back to you. This time it is Maheshwara Kumar. How are you doing? How are you doing, Maheshwara?
Yeah, fine, Sunil.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I want to have quick questions with you. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Okay. What is Maven?
Maven is building an artifact actually from the source code from the version controlling system, like GitHub. We used to upload the code from the local repository to the global repository. From global repository, we are pulling that code and
No. Wait. 1 minute. Thank you. Sorry for interrupting you. So the answer to the point, Maven is a build tool. First point. Okay, Mahesh.
Yeah. Yes,
Maven is a
yes.
build tool.
Build a tool.
So the way we are answering the interview is very, very important. We should be, we should stop to the point what we know. Okay. So then obviously the next question is the question what we know. Okay. So that's how we have to proceed. So Maven is a build tool which is used for building an artifact. That's it, isn't it?
Right.
Next question. What is artifact?
Artifact is you are trying to collect the code into one particular jar file actually. It's like
example of an artifact is a jar file, isn't it?
Jar file.
Can you give me a few more examples of artifact? One example of an artifact is a jar file. Similar to jar file, is there any other artifacts? Can you give a few examples?
So similarly, we have dot extension enterprise EAR file is also there actually. It is one of the artifact, correct?
Very good. Anything more?
And jar actually. So these two previous experience, based on my experience, I'm saying actually.
Perfect.
So yeah.
Okay. So what is Maven Global Server?
From the Maven Global Server, we used to download that, for example, MySQL or Google.class class files actually. Means like from that we can download that to that from Maven Global Server.
Maven Global Server is nothing but the site search.maven.org where all the open source third-party organizations will upload their APIs and maintain their APIs in the Maven Global Server.
Yeah.
Isn't it? Okay. So developers connect to Maven Global Server, search for the required APIs, and then download those APIs to Maven local repository. Am I right, Mahesh? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Thank you, Mahesh. Vinay, can we have a talk? Can you hear me, Vinay? Can we have a talk?
Yes, Sunil, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Yes, I am good.
So can I ask a couple of questions to you?
Yes, tell me.
What is Maven Global Server?
Maven Global Server is a which we found like APIs. We can download APIs in that.
Okay. So what is an API?
API is like it's a code, source code.
Yes, you are right. Which can perform a specific functionality.
Yes.
Agree? APIs is a piece of code which can perform specific functionality provided by some third-party company. Developers will call those APIs and then complete the required functionality, isn't it, Vinay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sunil,
What
I
is
have a small doubt.
Okay, let me answer first. Once I complete, then you will have a chance
Yeah.
to ask me.
Yeah. Okay.
What is pom.xml file?
Pom.xml is a project.
What does it?
Yeah. Project of project of something.
What is the
Sunil, I
importance?
forgot that one.
What is the importance of it? What is the importance of pom.xml file?
Pom.xml. I forgot that one, Sunil. I don't know.
Very important. We need to revise, isn't it, Vinay?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
I practiced, but I forgot that one.
Revision presentation is very important to crack the interview, isn't it, Vinay? Okay.
Yes,
So
yes.
when you're presenting, you need to use the proper terminologies. Agree?
Yes,
And
yes.
when can you get the proper terminologies? Only when you revise the notes, only when you review the recording. You have to
Yes.
use the terminologies. When you use the terminologies, then the interview will be effective, isn't it, Vinay?
Yes, 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 Sunil. Right.
Okay, yes. Now your questions, please.
I actually my question is in Git. What is pre command in post command?
What is?
What is pre command in Git and post command?
There are a lot of commands.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Even I'm not sure what is pre command and what is post command. Did anybody ask you?
Yes, yes. I actually someone actually asked me.
Okay.
So I said I don't know.
Okay, I'll check it, Vinay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Naveen Kumar, good evening. Can you hear me, Naveen?
Yes, sir. Good.
Yes, your question, please.
No, I don't have questions, sir.
Anuj, you want anything to say?
Definitely, Sunil. I have a few quick questions and I will be very fast if you permit, because so that you can continue. Okay.
You are welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. So one thing, merge and rebase.
I think you have sent me in the chat, WhatsApp chat. Am I right?
No, not
are you the
today.
same person?
No, not today.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Merge and
rebase.
Okay,
so
yes.
what happens? Is it possible? So in rebase, the only difference in merge and rebase is in rebase, the child code becomes the latest one, right?
You are right.
Okay. Next, is it possible to modify the committed file in local repository? Yes. The moment you modify it, the file becomes untracked, correct?
You're perfect. Then again, we need to move it into local repository.
Right. Now the question arises, if now I run amend, the moment I run amend, no, the moment it becomes untracked file, now I move this modified file untracked. Suppose in a commit happens. A commit is nothing but a group of files, say 100 files.
You're right.
100 files were there and I moved it, and commit is a commit. Now I modified 10 files. The moment I modified 10 files, they become untracked.
You're right.
They become untracked now.
You're right.
I'll say then I'll auction.
Yeah.
Now from untracked, I move to the staging area. From staging area, I run amend.
Okay.
I will not mark as a commit because then it will be a new commit.
You don't want to have a new commit. You want to amend it to existing commit.
The moment I run amend, what would happen? The already existing files, those 10 files which were having an older code, will they get replaced?
Replaced.
Perfect. So there is no addition of the new.
No. It will be replaced.
Okay. One thing. The moment files are moved from staging area to local repository, will they be invisible from the folder?
Which folder?
From the working directory, I'm sorry.
From the files you move it into staging area.
The moment I run staging area, the moment I run command,
it will be invisible.
Invisible.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Okay.
So that is the reason you need to don't look at the visuality. So you need to think from a developer perspective. So developer, when he will move it into staging area after completing the developmental activity, agree, isn't it? And
right.
There will be never a scenario where the work will be there. Once he moved into staging area, he will stop his progress. Next second he will move it into local repository. So there's no case where the most files are lived at the staging area. The next, why do we bring the files to staging area? To move, so that we move it into local repository. If your objective is to
Right.
not to move it into local repository, we never bring it to staging area only. Okay, clear, Anuj?
Okay. Okay. One more question. While uploading the code to GitHub, we have to mention master so that all commits of master push to GitHub.
Yes. If you don't want, along with the master, if you want to also push the branches to GitHub, Anuj, is that your
Right.
question, isn't it?
Right.
Not only
Right.
master, because in the Git, good observation, in the Git push command, you have mentioning the keyword as master. This means that you're pushing the master branch to the remote repository. Now, your point is you don't want to, you want to push the master branch. No doubt, along with the master branch, you want to push rest of all the branches from the local repository to the remote repository. Am I right?
Yes. Right.
So if you want to do that, instead of master, use a keyword called all. When that means not only master branch, along with the master branch, rest of all the branches will be uploaded into the
Okay.
remote
I
repository. We will be
thought
seeing that soon in Jenkins now.
I thought that we have to move master, then merge, then master,
No,
then
no, no,
merge,
no.
and keep on doing this thing.
That will be tedious. No,
So
not.
Sunil,
We have an
one
all
last
keyword. We have an all keyword, which
right.
helps you to push all the branches from the local repository to the remote
So
repository.
one last question. The moment I move file to staging area,
Mhm.
will that be available and seen in graphics mode in that
No,
particular directory?
no. Okay.
Okay.
But do you think developer will move to staging area and then goes to the Windows operating system, check whether the files are available or not? It will never be the case, isn't it? Isn't it?
Because no, why my
Yeah.
question is because
Mhm.
normally developer and other folks, they are not
Yes.
using command line. They
Yes. GUI.
for creating branches, they may run a command branch. For moving, for trunking,
pushing.
they can do it. For editing, for the managing the code, they might be using. For writing the code, they still use some other
Yes.
tabs. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm saying they will
You are
right
right.
click and create a folder over there.
Right.
They'll not go GitHub and touch command and do that.
You're right.
Right.
Okay.
So
Good.
that's why I'm asking that once they move to the staging area, will that be still visible in the working directory or not?
No, it will not be visible.
Okay. The moment I move to staging area, only untracked
Local
files
repo.
are visible.
You're right.
Okay.
Okay. Try that.
Okay. So is it possible to move code back to the, if I want to move to code any particular file back, modify it, I need to simply edit it.
Unstage.
Unstage.
There's a command unstage.
Right. Unstage, I'm not asking. Unstage will happen when the code is there in the staging area.
Yeah.
Once
No.
it is committed, I want to modify the code.
No.
I need to simply modify that code with what command you saying? Squash. No, not squash.
You have to modify whatever you can use any editor to modify the files. The moment a file is modified, it is again considered as untracked.
Untracked. Right. Thank you very
Concept is the
much.
same.
Thank
Okay.
you very much. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Thank you. Please
So,
continue, sir. Thank you
at
very
an
much.
average, how many are you practicing regularly, Anuj?
Not as of now. I'll install it, but yes, I was seeing the video back and clearing the concepts.
Okay, good. So at least half an hour per day you're spending in
No, 3-4
learning.
hours.
Oh God, good. So close to 3 hours. Apart from training, you're spending close to 3 hours for learning more on DevOps.
Sometimes listening a video back gives you some more information.
Okay,
you may come with new questions. So I'm watching videos back to back.
Yes,
so tomorrow AWS session we'll be meeting morning.
Wow. Happy to know that.
Thank you, sir. Please continue with the other question. Thank
you. Okay. Let's move on. Let's have an interaction later. So let's get into Jenkins. In the interview, your answer could be your answer should be exactly straight for the question. If anybody asks you Maven, the first answer should be build tool. The term build should come into picture. If anybody asks you Maven, build tool, if anybody asks you what Git, source code management tool, or you can also say it as version controlling. So answer to the point. If anybody asks you what is Jenkins, if anybody asks you what is Jenkins, what should be your answer? The best answer is Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. If anybody asks you what is Jenkins, what will be your best answer? The best answer is CI/CD tool. What does CI/CD stands for? Continuous integration. Continuous delivery. If anybody asks you what is Jenkins, the answer is Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. What does CI/CD stands for? Continuous integration and continuous delivery. What is continuous integration? What is continuous delivery? Let's try to understand. Look at the notes. Terminology is very important. What we want is success stories from each and every batch. Terminologies, spending time on DevOps, perfectly practicing each and every example is the minimum thing what's expected from this training, from the participants. Look at this terminology. Jenkins is a self-contained open source automation server. DevOps is related to automation, is it? DevOps is related to automation. In DevOps, which tool is related to automation? Is Kubernetes related to automation? Is the Git and Maven is driving the automation behind the DevOps? The tool which is driving behind the DevOps is the automation. The tool which is driving the automation in DevOps concept is Jenkins. That's why it's called as an automation server. Jenkins is a self-contained open source. All the DevOps tools are open source. Most of the DevOps tools are open source. It's a self-contained. What is self-contained? I'll explain. Jenkins is a self-contained open source automation server which can automate the task related to building, testing, delivery. It can automate the activities related to building, testing, delivery. What is building? What is testing? What is delivery? We'll see it. Jenkins can install on any machine. Jenkins can also be installed on your personal laptop. On your Windows machine, Jenkins can be installed on Linux machine. In any machine, whichever you want, you can Jenkins can be installed. Okay. The only prerequisite if you want to install Jenkins on any machine is that Java runtime environment needs to be installed. Jenkins requires JRE. So we will install JRE. On top of it, we'll install Jenkins. Jenkins is a CI/CD tool, which is stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery. Okay. What is CI/CD? CI/CD is nothing but a collection of 5 stages. The CI/CD process is nothing but collection of 5 stages. Continuous download, as you can see, continuous download, continuous build, continuous deployment, continuous testing, continuous delivery. These are the stages involved in CI/CD. So Jenkins is a CI/CD tool. And what does CI/CD stands for? As mentioned, CI/CD stands for continuous integration and continuous delivery. Let's try to understand what does this terminologies mean. Okay. We all know remote repository. Example of a remote repository is GitHub. When a development team upload the code into the remote repository, have you observed, Anuj, if you don't mind, I want to have a continuation discussion with you. So how many years of experience you have?
I'm having 14 years.
Okay, may I know your primary platform?
It's AIX, Linux, mainframe storages.
Perfect. As you know,
Platform
every client will minimum maintain 3 instances, isn't it? Dev instance, QA instance, and production. Am I right?
Production, right?
Perfect. Is it?
Right.
Let's name it. The most important instance is the production instance because the business will be live. The application will be live in the production instance, isn't it?
Correct.
Jenkins should help in automating the activities related to building. What does that mean? Building an artifact. Jenkins.
Artifact. Right.
Testing. Artifact cannot be directly moved into production. Agree?
Correct.
It should pass through testing.
Right.
Once it is testing is passed, it should move to delivery. We should deliver
Delivery.
that particular. That means we need to move to production instance, isn't it?
Production.
So
Right.
this kind of building the artifact and deploying it into the testing environment, and the testing script should get executed. Once the testing is positive, then it should be moved on to production. The moment when we move the artifact to production, that means we have delivered. Agree?
Delivered.
Isn't it?
Correct.
Your Jenkins should able to automate. That means all these things should happen without human intervention. Agree? That's called automation. Isn't it, Anuj? Okay.
Right.
So to perform all these activities without any human intervention, we should follow some set of stages. The first stage is what? Continuous download.
Download.
Can you guess what is continuous download, Anuj?
Continuous download is downloading of the source code from the GitHub.
Okay, continuous download
Or
is all about
download-
downloading
or-
the source code. You're right.
Source code. Because it may happen that
One minute,
the
one minute.
builders keep on uploading.
Yeah. Let's understand stage one.
Stage 1.
Your CI/CD should perform 5 stages. Okay, so let's understand stage 1. Stage 1 is all about
Continuous download.
continuous download is all about participants try to understand. First question you need to understand what we have to download, from where we have to download, to where we have to download, isn't it? These are the 3 key points. As the name suggests, continuous download, as Anuj expected, we have to, this stage should perform what we have to download. We have to download source code. Okay, so step
Okay.
1, let's try to understand. Let's try to understand, participants. Continuous download is all about downloading the source code. Next question, what comes to your mind is from where we have to download the source code. Obviously, development team, upon completing the developmental activity, they'll push the code into the remote repository. So your Jenkins tool should download the source code, from where? Obviously from the remote repository. That is nothing but GitHub. When I'm saying remote repository is GitHub. Obviously to where it should download. Can you answer, Anuj? To where it should download?
Quality server or testing server?
It should download into the dev instance.
Yep.
Okay.
Dev instance.
Perfect. C stands for code. Okay. Thank you, Anuj.
Welcome, sir.
So I'm very clear in explaining stage 1. CI/CD should automate the activities related to building, testing, and delivery. To automate the activities related to building and testing and delivery, it is broadly divided into 5 stages: continuous download, continuous build, continuous deployment, continuous testing, and continuous delivery. I am explaining about continuous first stage that is called as continuous download. What do you mean by continuous download? Continuous download is nothing but downloading the source code. Point 1. From where we have to download. Obviously, development team has uploaded the source code into the GitHub repository. So stage 1 is all about downloading the source code. Next point, from where we have to download. Obviously, source code is available in the GitHub repository. So we have to download from the GitHub repository. To where we have to download? We have to download into the dev instance. Any questions in stage 1? Yes, Nekwa. You are allowed to unmute. Good morning.
Is my hand up?
We can hear you.
Is my hand up?
Yes, your hand is up.
Oh, yes. I I didn't do it though. Sorry.
Okay. So you have no questions?
No, you said this. The remote, the code is downloaded into dev what?
Dev instance.
Dev instance.
You're right.
Can you spell that? Can you just write it under the C, please?
Dev instance is nothing but the development instance.
Oh, dev instance. Okay.
Ah,
Thank
your
you.
clients will
Okay.
maintain development instance, QA instance, and production instance. Am I right?
Okay, I
Aqua?
got it. Thank
I'm
you.
referring to that one instance.
Okay, sorry.
Thank
I
you.
didn't get it right. Thank you.
Balakrishna.
Sir, I don't have any questions.
Please drop your hand if you're not having any questions.
So sorry.
Sukumar.
Hi Sunil, how are you? Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, fine.
Yeah, just I have a couple of 1-2 questions.
Yes.
First one is GitHub. Like, we would like to know, we are moving code from local to remote repository, right? So
Yes.
is it the scenario directly upload into the GitHub or write the code directly in the GitHub, and from there?
No.
No, it's
Developers
not.
will never directly write the code in the GitHub. Okay. Developers always write the code in their local machines, in their personal, the development machines. And then once the developmental activity is done, then they push the code into GitHub.
Okay, because I have seen the option, so in the GitHub
There is
as
an
well.
option where we can edit the source code in GitHub. Okay. But
Yeah,
there are
so
for
there is-
minor additions, not the developmental
Okay.
activity. Okay.
So we can even we can create.
We can. GitHub provides the facility to update the code directly in the remote repository, and immediately there is a button called commit changes. I hope you are referring to that, Sukumar, isn't it? We can also commit that in the GitHub repository.
Yeah, even we can create the branches as well directly.
User interface is always there, but it always happens from the backend.
Okay.
Local repository.
Okay. And second one is now you are saying that the code is directly downloading from remote to dev instance, right?
You're right.
What is the role here, Maven? Like if you are directly connecting remote rip to Jenkins, then when we use the Maven?
Yeah, you will understand in stage 2.
Okay.
That is build. You are referring to build activity. Agree?
Yeah, build. Yeah.
So we will understand it when I explain about stage 2. Clear about stage 1?
Yes.
Okay. Because we know, Sukumar, the entire project related code will be available in the GitHub repository, isn't it? Okay. Yes. So stage 1 is all about downloading the entire project related code from the GitHub repository to the development instance, isn't it? So this is called as stage 1, that is continuous download. Okay, Sukumar, am I clear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Next, Sukumar. Next, I want to continue the discussion. Once the code is downloaded, okay, and you know, we cannot do anything with the code unless we package the source code and generate a artifact out of it, isn't it? Okay, that stage is called as continuous build. Please look at my statement. Continuous build is all about packaging the source code and generating a artifact out of it. This part is called as continuous build. Okay, am I clear? Clear? Continuous download is all about downloading the source code, and once the source code is downloaded, you cannot do anything with the source code unless it is packaged and generated artifact. So stage 2 is continuous build is all about packaging the source code and generating an artifact out of it. Clear, Sukumar? This is stage 2.
So we can say Maven is a subtask of Jenkins.
So you will be, after downloading the code, you will be triggering the Maven tool so that Maven will package this source code and generate an artifact. Okay.
Okay.
And if you want to do that, then you have to obviously install Maven on the dev instance, isn't it?
Yes.
You have to install Maven on the dev instance, right? Clear?
Okay. Yeah.
So we'll be installing Maven on the dev instance, and then we will be triggering the Maven tool so that the Maven tool will work on the source code which is downloaded and the artifact will be generated. Clear, Sukumar?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Clear now.
Thank you.
So Maven should be downloaded on all the instance in that case.
No,
right?
not all the instance. On where exactly code is downloaded?
Now dev.
That's it. Maven should be available in the dev.
Okay. So every time we are moving from dev to QA to prod then.
Yes. Okay.
So is there no such generally sometimes generally we download
Maven is installed only in the dev instance. We, as per the CI/CD process, all this activity should happen in the dev instance. QA is only for testing the artifact application.
Okay, I got it. Yeah.
Got it, Sukumar?
Yeah, got it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil.
Okay. So forget about tools which are required to perform all these stages. Anyways, I'll come back to the point again. Let's understand the stages. So stage 2 is done. As a result of stage 2, the artifact will be available in the dev instance. Stage 3, continuous deployment. Continuous deployment. Once the artifact is available, what do we do with the artifact? You have to deploy the artifact. We have to deploy the artifact into some servers like WebLogic, WebSphere, Tomcat. So we will be installing Tomcat, assuming the client is using Tomcat, so Tomcat server. So we will be deploying this particular artifact into the. You cannot move directly into production, isn't it? So we have to deploy the artifact into the QA instance so that the application will be live in the QA environment. The process of deploying the artifact. The process of deploying the artifact from where to where? Obviously, where is the artifact available? The artifact is available in the dev instance. The process of deploying the artifact from dev instance to QA instance is called as continuous deployment. That's it. Once the artifact is deployed, the application is up and running, not in the production. This application is up and running in the live environment so that the testing team can jump into action and test whether the application is behaving perfectly as per the client requirement or not. This process of deploying the artifact from the dev instance to QA instance is called as continuous deployment. Any questions, Naveen?
No questions, sir. As of now.
Thank you. Yes, Jayashree.
Can please?
We can hear you, Jayashree. Yes, your question, please.
Tell me continuous deployment once again, please. I
Okay.
can't understand.
What is continuous build?
What?
What is continuous build?
Packaging of source code generating artifacts.
Is called as continuous build. You're right. Once the artifact is available in the dev instance, what will be the next action?
Sorry?
Once the artifact is available in the development instance,
Okay.
isn't it? Artifact is where available? Artifact is available in
Dev
the.
instances.
So what is the next step we need to do? We have to deploy the artifact. Isn't it, Jayashree? We have to deploy the artifact. Artifact are nothing but the jar files and var files. When can the application will be up and running? Only when it is deployed into the server. So the process of deploying is nothing but the copying. In more easy terms, the deployment is all about copying the artifact from the dev instance to QA
Yeah.
instance is called as continuous deployment. Okay.
Okay.
Clear,
Answer.
Jayesh?
Thank you. Shabir.
Yeah, yes, sir, good afternoon. Can you clear me that that it is working as an JIT and Maven? So there also we are working by the command base. Here we are at automation, right?
Yes, you are right. It is automation here.
Means whatever we are compiling and committing statements, whatever we are performing in the JIT, it is performing automatically in Jenkins, right?
No. Developer will commit it and push the code into the remote repository. From the remote repository, the automation starts. Okay.
Okay.
Automation starts from the remote repository. Clear, Shabir?
Yes.
Your Jenkins tool should download the source code into the dev instance. Your Jenkins tool should trigger that particular Maven tool so that the Maven tool apply on the code that is downloaded, and as part of it, the artifact will be generated, and then your Jenkins should copy the artifact, deploy that artifact into the QA instance so that the application is up and running on the QA environment. So this is called as stage 3, continuous deployment. Clear, Shabir?
Yes, yes, perfect. Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Krishna Rao.
Hi, Sunil.
Good evening.
As we say, source code is all source code go to remote repository, and remote repository to the code is packaged to Maven build tool, and we
Yes.
get the artifact.
Yes.
Artifact. Interview ask what is the input of Jenkins? What do you say?
What is the
Input of Jenkins.
We'll see practically what is the input of Jenkins. We'll see that practically. Okay. Okay, Krishna.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Anything more, Maheshwara?
Well, actually, one request I have seen in the PPT slide in the notes, you mentioned that you are going to install this Jenkins in the AWS, am I right? Can we
Yeah.
install in the laptop also, am I right? It is, since it is an open source. So can I
You
install in the
can
local?
also install on your personal laptops, no doubt. Let's say
So
once you
will you be
install,
showing that
once
actually?
once you install the Jenkins on your Windows laptop, okay?
Yeah,
So you can download the source code.
right.
We can generate the artifact. Yesterday or last session also we have generated the artifact on our personal laptop, isn't it, Maheshwara?
Correct. Yeah.
The last session, Maven, where did we install? We have installed in our personal laptop.
In the locally, yeah.
So,
JDK and all. we
that's the
configure
reason.
file.
That's the reason artifact is available somewhere in my C drive or somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
where do you deploy? You need an additional
Deploy
machine.
Yeah, okay. That's why you are going to
So
AWS. Correct.
practically, you cannot perform CI/CD stages on one individual laptop. Agree?
Correct. But will you be showing the steps to install in the local desktop?
No,
Open
we
from
will be
open source?
No, we will be directly installing Maven on AWS cloud. There's no meaning in moving it into the personal laptop. We don't do that, isn't it? Okay.
Oh.
Because we
But
cannot
the steps
practice.
But the steps is straightforward, is it actually?
Steps is straightforward. Yes, you're right. Simple. Okay.
But already we got JDK for Maven, am I right? On top of
That
it,
is
if we go
simple.
for the link, just directly click and install. Correct? Actually,
Yes, it's very
Jenkins?
simple installation, but you cannot practice the CI/CD stages, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay, so
That
there's
is
no-
exactly true.
yeah, obviously, there's no. We cannot do at
Yeah.
least one example also. Thank you.
Yes, I am not practicing AWS because I don't have the account actually, but I have practiced all this GitHub, Maven, everything actually perfectly.
From now, everything is on cloud.
Okay.
Because when we go to interview also, first question they'll ask you, you have DevOps experience on which cloud platform? Agree?
Yeah, agreed.
So everything is on AWS. Thank you. Santosh.
Hi, Sunil. How are you?
Doing well, Santosh. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. I just want to know how we can know whether a particular project is using an Tomcat or WebLogic or WebServer.
We get the information from the client, the complete infrastructure environment. Are they using Tomcat? Are they using WebLogic? Are they using WebSphere? All the complete infrastructure environment will have it on documents. Santosh. Okay.
Okay.
So according to it, we'll be doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So stage 3 is done. So it's all about deploying the artifact into the QA instance. Once the artifact is available in the QA instance, why did we deploy it into QA instance? Because you want to test the application. Clients wants to test the application before, because we don't want any surprises once it is going into production. So next testing tool will jump into action. There is no scope for manual testing in DevOps. There is no scope for manual testing in DevOps. When a client is implementing DevOps methodology in their software development process, there is no scope for manual testing. The client should use automation testing tools like Selenium, or there are many more automation testing tools. Step 4, continuous testing. Continuous testing is all about continuous testing, very important. Continuous testing is all about downloading the testing related scripts. Continuous testing is all about downloading the testing related scripts and then running the scripts so that the application will be tested. This stage is called as continuous testing. Continuous testing is all about downloading the testing related scripts and running the scripts so that the application is tested. This stage is called as continuous testing. Assuming the testing is passed. Assume the testing is passed. And once the testing is passed, that means the artifact is perfectly right. So obviously the clients will give a nod to move it into production. Deploying the artifact into production instance is nothing but delivery. Deployment of artifact into the production instance is called as delivery. All these stages should be done by using Jenkins. Clear? Step after the step, step after the step. This is called as automating the activities related to build, release, and delivery is all about the CI/CD stages. The reason why I'm taking more time to explain the stages is very important. There is no interview without the CI/CD stages. Definitely they'll ask you, can you explain the CI/CD stages? You should be very clear in explaining each and every stage. Yes, Rajesh.
Hi, sir. Good evening.
Good evening.
Sir, actually, this right, it is very clear with Jenkins. Actually, I have a doubt. Like in our environment, we have multiple application microservices. What happens if we have multiple applications to install in the deployment?
Multiple applications with specific to the same client or for multiple clients?
Same platform. For example, I'm working in a messaging platform where we have multiple microservices that has to be taken from the repository. And
when you say multiple microservices, there's a separate source code for each and every microservices, isn't it?
Yes.
That means there is separate tools we need to generate. We'll see practically how to handle. We need to create each and every jobs or each and every separate tools. Okay.
Because I remember like from last 4 years, right? We take some application from the vendor, right? Like Bit company. They will send an Ansible script where it will install their own all applications into our environment. Then we merge our internal applications and create an environment, and we just test it and deliver to the customer.
Okay.
This happens in my.
Okay. You'll see, understand, Rajesh, once we get into practicals.
Yes, and one more thing I want to say. Today AWS completed it was very good thing.
Thank you.
And I'm continuing this DevOps. Actually, I'm enjoying everything.
You're welcome. Thank you, Rajesh. Okay. I will match up to your expectations. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll match it, sir.
Thank you. Yeah, please.
Thank you, sir.
Not just listening. You need to have some hands-on so that the training will be successful. So we get some success stories.
Yes.
Okay. In migrating our platforms to the latest technologies, leveraging our careers. Okay. Thank you. Perfect. So to perform all these stages, we need to have minimum 3 instances. Obviously, every client will maintain 3 instances, dev, QA, and prod. So without any delay, I want to proceed creating 3 instances, dev, QA, and production instance. I'll be creating 3 instances on my AWS cloud. I already have logged into my AWS. Right now, I'm using the service called as EC2. We have been experiencing the EC2 service. I hope you remember in the beginning Linux sessions, we have created a Linux mission. We have learned not only just creating an instance, we already have learned how can we connect to the instance and start practicing Linux commands. We are again jumping into the same service called as EC2, and here we are creating 3 instances. Launch instances. I want to go with Ubuntu operating system. I'm taking Ubuntu 18 version. There's no specific reason for it. T2 micro instances, because these are the only instances which are eligible for free tier. How many instances you want? I want to have 3 instances. That's it. Next. I don't want any restriction with respect to connectivity. I make sure that it is all traffic and it can receive it from anywhere. Review, click on launch, create a new key pair. Jenkins with today's date 9. I download my key pair in my desktop. Sunil folder. Downloading the key pair. Launch instances. Creating instance is just a 1-minute activity. All the 3 instances are created. Let's name it as done. Let's wait for the instances to up and running. Important interview question. Important question. What all softwares needs to be installed? What all softwares needs to be installed on the dev instance? Sorry. What are softwares or what all tools are need to be installed in the dev instance? Can you guess? If first step, continuous download is all about downloading the source code. If you want to download the source code, we have a command called git pull command. Pull command will help you to pull the source code from the GitHub repository. If you want to run the git related commands, you have to install git in the dev instance. So what all needs to be installed the dev instance? You have to write a git command to pull the source code. So git needs to be installed in the dev instance. What else? Once the source code is available, you need to trigger the Maven tool so that the Maven tool will act on the source code which is downloaded and the artifact will be generated. So you have to install Maven on the dev instance. What else you need to install? If you want to perform all this git and Maven, we'll be doing using Jenkins. So obviously we need to install Jenkins on the dev instance. And what is the prerequisite for Jenkins? The prerequisite is Java for Jenkins. So these are those tools which will be installed on the dev instance: Git, Maven, Java, and Jenkins. All the 3 instances up and running. So I'm connecting to dev instance. I take the SSH command. It's nothing new. I'm directly jumping in to the location where the PEM file is downloaded. I am connecting to dev instance. All this we already know it. I have successfully connected to dev instance. Whatever you want to install, first step is to update the repository. Repository is updated. This is the command to install Java. The prerequisite for Jenkins is Java. Done. The prerequisite for Jenkins is Java. Java is installed. If you want to check whether Java is installed or not, this is the command. Yes, Java is installed. I also want to install Git and Maven. Obviously, you know why should we install Git and Maven? We need to run the Git command, so Git needs to be installed. Maven obviously is required for generating an artifact. One single command, apt-get install-y git space Maven. One single command will help you to install both the tools. Yes, Sheshendra. Good evening.
Yeah. Hi, good evening, Sunil.
Yeah.
Regarding that continuous download, continuous build, continuous deployment,
CI/CD
continuous
stages.
testing. Yeah, these are, we have 5 stages, right?
You're right.
Yeah. Actually, first step is continuous download. Second step is continuous build through the Maven, right?
Yes, you are right.
Yeah. Yeah. After that, we are deploying our code into the dev instance, right?
Not code.
Okay. Our artifact.
You're right. We'll be deploying the artifact into the
dev instance.
No.
Oh,
QA
okay.
instance.
QA instance.
You
Okay.
can see the diagram here. The artifact is available here.
Okay. Artifact
And
available.
we are deploying the artifact into the QA instance.
Yeah, QA. After that, we are continuous deployment doing in the QA instance, right? Doing.
Done. Once it is deployed, continuous stage 3 is completed.
Okay. Okay. After that, we are testing, right?
Yes. Yeah. We will be downloading the testing related scripts
Okay.
and running the scripts.
After deployment, we are testing that.
Obviously, once the application is up and running, then we will be testing the application. So after deployment, we will test it.
Oh, okay. After deploying in prod or QA?
Not prod.
Okay, it is in QA only.
Okay, only when testing is passed, then only we move to prod, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it?
that's what I
Testing should
noticed.
pass.
Okay.
Okay, so after testing, then prod.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Poonam.
Yeah, hi Sunil, good evening.
Yeah.
This till the testing we are in the continuous integration stage only. Once, right?
Repeat
Hello?
your statement.
Till the stage of continuous testing, we are in the continuous integrations.
You are right. You are right. You are right.
And then these 4 steps are done in the dev instance and the QA instance finally.
You are right. You are right.
Once the testing is cleared, then only we will
move to production.
Prod. Okay.
Yes, you are right. Perfect.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. You know it before, Poonam?
Yeah, I was in the previous DevOps batch, so
Okay.
I missed few of the classes, so I joined again.
Okay.
So now I'm understanding in a better way.
Okay. So good.
I did AWS also before, but
Okay.
again I have joined AWS with morning batch starting on 10.
Second time you're feeling more and more comfortable.
Yes, because I am doing one course from one institute, but there I'm not getting things very clear. They still saying CI/CD means continuous integration and continuous deployment.
It's not deployment, it's delivery.
Yeah. I didn't question them back. I
That's
just
okay.
listened
Okay. Yeah.
because I'm getting things clear from your end. So that
you.
is helping me a lot. Thanks.
So we are done with installing both the tools, I suppose, Git and Maven. If you want to verify whether Git is successfully installed or not. Yes, Git is installed. Yes, Maven is also installed. Let's install Jenkins. We are done. We are done with the installation of Git. We are done with installation of Maven. We are done with installation of Java. Now we are installing Jenkins. I recommend you to please create 3 instances on your AWS account, complete the configuration of dev instance, and complete all this installation process so that you can be on par with the practicing. Search in Google Jenkins download. Jenkins.io is the right website. Jenkins.io is the right website. You have to download Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins comes with 2 versions. One is stable version. This is stable version. Right side is a weekly version. Always go for stable version. Okay. You can install Jenkins on your personal laptop. If your personal laptop is installed Windows operating system, you can click on this and then you can install it. Automatically starts downloading Jenkins on a personal laptop. But our plan is to not to install Jenkins on a personal laptop. You have to install Jenkins on cloud. So whenever you want to install Jenkins on cloud, you have to use generic Java package. So it successfully helps you to install cloud, whether it is Azure or GCP or AWS. So generic package is used for installing on cloud. So when you click on this, so you can see the extension is WAR file. So it will help you to download the WAR file. I am clicking on this. You can see here the WAR file will be downloaded. Let's wait. See, Jenkins.war file is getting downloaded, but the software should not be downloaded onto your personal laptop. Where it should be downloaded, the software should be downloaded on the dev instance. The software should be downloaded on the dev instance. Am I right? So how do you make sure that the software will be downloaded on the instance which is running on AWS platform? So right click on this particular generic Java package and then copy the link address. Copy the link address. I'll show you how exactly the link address looks like. This is the link address which you have copied, and you need to prefix this link with the command called wget. When you prefix with the wget command, so that particular software and that command, you have to install it on the dev instance. This is the dev instance terminal, isn't it? We have connected to dev instance. Now here I use the wget command. So here I use the wget command so that the Jenkins software will be downloaded on the AWS Cloud EC2 machine. The software is getting downloaded. It's nothing but Jenkins.var file. Yes, the var file is downloaded. You can see the file which has been downloaded. Not just downloading the var file, you have to install the var file. The command to install is java-jar. The file name is jenkins.var. Java-jar and mention the file name which you have downloaded. Please follow this on your AWS account. Create 3 machines: dev, QA, and production. Please make sure you select the same Ubuntu operating system. We saw that we are all on same platform. So Jenkins is installed. Where is Jenkins installed? Tell me. Jenkins, we have downloaded the software and we are triggering the Jenkins software, so it's getting installed. How can you access Jenkins? How can you access Jenkins? Take the public IP of the dev instance. Take the public IP of the dev instance. And Jenkins runs on the port number 8080. You can see this is the dev instance, public IP of the dev instance, colon 8080. Is it? This is the URL. Public IP of the dev instance 8080, where you will access the Jenkins. Taking a long time. Sorry, I have taken private IP. I have to use public IP. Agree? Public IP colon 8080. Now you get the response. Jenkins comes with locked version. You need to unlock it. And when can you unlock it? Only when you provide the administrator password. Administration password will be available in the terminal. You can see here, Jenkins, please use the following password to proceed with the installation. This is the password. In case if you miss the terminal, you can also get the password in this particular location, /home/ubuntu, and then initial password. So I continue. And you need to install suggested plugins. Please proceed with the plugins installation. This will take 4 to 5 minutes based on the speed of the internet. Gaurav, how are you doing?
Yeah, hi Sunil. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? You are from which location?
I'm from Pune.
Okay, happy to hear you. Yes, your question, please.
Actually, my question is, every time why you choose Ubuntu?
You can choose any operating system. Not okay.
Any operating system?
Yeah.
Can you share the command?
Every time in the sense, when did I do it before?
Last time also you choose same Ubuntu.
Which when I have explained about which example, Maven?
On first lecture of Linux.
Okay, I selected Ubuntu operating system. You can select any operating system. Okay.
But can you please share the command for Red Hat or any AMI?
The commands will remain the same. The commands does not change whether the operating system is Red Hat or Ubuntu or SUSE Linux. Only one thing you keep in mind: instead of instead of apt repository, you need to use yum repository. That's it.
And
Okay.
for W and using and
wget works for
instead of
both
wget?
all flavors of operating system.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
And
Yes, Maheshwar.
Hello.
Yes, Maheshwar, we can hear you.
So same step if I do it in my local desktop actually, same after this is a similar procedure, correct? Actually
Similar.
here also.
Very simple.
So
Windows, it is much more simple. It's a WAR file. You need to
directly
select
install and
Windows
then-
operating system and just directly install it. That's it.
So this administrative password, everything same?
No, everything will be the same. You'll also get the administrative password there.
Oh, right. So while installing itself, we will get it in the command prompt, correct?
You're right.
Right.
So once it will help you. It will ask you to download plugins. Please download and install the suggested plugins. You need to create a first user in Jenkins. So I'm creating a first user. The username is admin. The password is also admin. Confirm password. I'm writing it as admin. The full name is also admin. Email address is also. I can use any email. Does not need any validation. Save and continue. I have created a first user. The username is admin. The password is also admin. Save and continue. Jenkins configuration is done, and you can access Jenkins taking the public IP of the dev instance, and Jenkins runs on port number 8080. Remember that you don't need to take this. We already know it. So save and finish. Jenkins is ready. Your setup is done, and start using Jenkins. This is how the Jenkins dashboard looks like. So we are done with configuring the dev instance. In the interview, they'll ask you how to configure the dev instance, what all softwares are required in the dev instance to perform the CI/CD. Git, Maven, Java is the prerequisite for Jenkins, and then we install Java and Jenkins. We are done with creating a we are done with creating a installing Jenkins and completing the setup of a dev instance. So where are we standing in our today's session? So we know what is Jenkins. Jenkins is a CI/CD tool, and you know the stages in the CI/CD stands for continuous integration, continuous delivery. You have no stages. Creating the CI/CD infrastructure, yes, you need to have 3 instances. We have created 3 instances: dev, QA, and production. We also have learned how can we install Jenkins on the EC2 machine. Let's learn how to create a simple job and how to run the Jenkins. Let's make ourselves comfortable with the Jenkins environment. Let's make ourselves comfortable with the Jenkins environment. This is how a Jenkins dashboard looks like. Whatever you want to do it in Jenkins, whatever you want to perform in Jenkins, you need to create a job. Any activity you want to do it in Jenkins, any activity which you have to do it in Jenkins, you need to create a form of a job. I want to create a simple job, and then I want the job to print some hello message. The most important thing is make ourselves comfortable with creating a job, how to run the job, and how to see the log messages of a particular job. Let's make ourselves comfortable. Creating a new item. New item is nothing but job. Okay, job name can be anything. So I'm creating a job with the name something like sample is the name of the job, and I select it as freestyle project. Click on OK. The name of the job which I'm creating is sample. Let's wait for the job to get created. This is how the job looks like. Okay, every job will have tabs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tabs. General tab, source code management tab, build triggers, build environment, build and post build actions. So these are the tabs every job contains. So I want to create a job to display some hello message. So I go to build tab, and then I add a build step, and I execute a shell command. We have an echo command, isn't it? Echo. I'm writing it as hello Jenkins. Okay, so this is what I want to print the log message. So I'm printing a echo statement. Click on apply, click on save. I'm done with creating a job. Go back to your dashboard. This is how the Jenkins dashboard looks like. You can clearly see the Jenkins dashboard is having one job. The name of the job is sample. When you click on the job, you will enter into the job, and when you click on configure, configuring is all about making changes to the job, where you'll again get all the tabs where you can modify the job. We can again save, apply and save. So I'm done with showing you how to create a job. Not just creating a job, I will also show you how to run the job. This is the play button, which helps you to run the job. When you run the job may end successfully, job may end failure. If job will end up successfully, here you will get it in the last success column. If a job ends with failure, you'll get it in the last failure column. So let's run the job. You can see job is just clicked on. Jenkins dashboard will not be refreshed automatically. You need to refresh manually here. So I'm refreshing the Jenkins dashboard manually. You can see job has executed for the first time. This is the iteration number. First time it has been executed and it is available in the success column. That means job is successfully completed. And if you want to see the log messages of the job, you can drop down this arrow marks and you can see the console output, where you can see a hello Jenkins is the print which we have received it from the job. If you want to run the jobs for a second time, you can also run the job by clicking on this here. And as you know, the Jenkins dashboard will not be refreshed automatically. You need to click on refresh manually. You can see the second time also got executed. Okay, and you can also see the output. When you click on the job, you can see how many number of times the job has been executed on the left side. That's called as a build history. You can see this is the first iteration. If you want to see the result of the first iteration, here you can go and look at the result. Here is the result of the second iteration. So if you do not want a job, you can delete the job. Your Jenkins dashboard is empty. Once you're done, please log out of Jenkins. And if you want to log in again, do you remember the first user which you have created? The admin is the username, the password is admin. Again, you will be joining into the Jenkins dashboard. So this is how a quick look and feel of how exactly Jenkins looks like. Clear? Are we done with our agenda for today's session? Anuj, your comments?
So thank you, Sunil. So that means from Jenkins onwards, we will be installing these tools on our actual servers.
Configuring the Devins. No. Everything is on the AWS.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you. Dev P. I can see your hand raise.
Yeah, sir. Actually, I want to know, like, now you have created one job and run it, and how this can be used in real time.
Today we have just started, Dev. Okay. Today we have just started. We are experiencing how the Jenkins environment looks like. Okay. CI/CD stages. Once we started, you'll understand how exactly Jenkins is used. Isn't it? Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anything more? Okay. Quick information. We are starting a new AWS batch tomorrow at 11 a.m. Okay. If you are interested, you can join the WhatsApp group. The WhatsApp group is having the description. Okay, you can directly sharing the Zoom registration link. I'm sending this in the chat box. I'm just sending you the Zoom link. That's it for tomorrow's session. So you can pick up the link from the chat box and then register for tomorrow's 11 a.m. session in case if you're interested in AWS. Okay. Before ending, how are you doing, Regis?
So I was wondering, when you were installing all these different tools that we need on the DevOps instance, I was not able to catch all of them. And I was wondering, where is the file where you have all the different commands listed so we can access that?
As you know, every session is recorded and you get the recordings. Along with the recordings, the file which I'm using, the notepad file which I have using for this training purpose, even this will be uploaded into your Google Drive, where in which you can download this and use this document as a reference for configuring the dev instance on your AWS account. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That this particular notes will be available in the notes folder in the Google Drive. Please have a look at it. Any more questions, you can send a support email. You have our support email address. Our team will respond to you.
The other question is, how do we know if we've successfully registered for the AWS course?
Once, did you get the Zoom link in the chat box?
Yes.
Click on that link. You need to submit your details in the Zoom link. Immediately upon submitting your details, you get a invitation mail, a confirmation mail to your inbox. Okay. And that confirmation mail which you receive it inbox contains the meeting link and the passcode using which you can join.
So that would be batch 76.
77.
Okay.
AWS batch 77. Okay, Regis?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you all. Please practice, don't delay. Configure the AWS account, configure these 3 instances, and we have completed configuring dev instance. We have not configured the QA and prod. That's our plan for tomorrow's session. And then we'll experience stage 1 and stage 2 also if time permits. Okay, thank you and see you tomorrow. Bye everybody.